Hi, this is Complete Pete. We're embarking on another project with our brand new 2020 Tarpon 120. We're going to be installing a keel guard tape system on there. The tape I'm trying out this time is KeelEazy product. This is the product from KeelEazy. It looks like a pretty thick tape. I've read a lot of reviews on it and I wanted to give it a try myself. This is the famous blue backing that you hear so much about. Trying to peel it up carefully with a razor blade, but once you get this started it comes off pretty easy. It is a pretty thick product. One of the things I do like about it is the thickness. It is very lightweight. One of the things I noticed right off the bat is the edges are not tapered, so that does create sort of a catch point. If the boat's floating sideways, hits a sharp edge or something, it could start to peel the tape up, but time will tell. I'm going to install this product and then I'm going to give you another review on how it lasts throughout the season. I'll check it periodically. So I definitely want to give them a fair shake and see how it is and see if there's any points I notice that aren't optimum. Some of the things we have today, I have some of the tools out that we need to install this tape. I've installed different brand tape before. Like I said, I wanted to give KeelEazy a shot. We have scissors, of course. Scissors are for cutting the tape. I also like to shape the tape at the end. I'll use something round and just trace inside just to make a nice round edge so it looks more finished. I also use the tape to lay the KeelEazy product out and tape it into position so I can see how much we need. We have a roll of paper towels. We also have some isopropyl alcohol, 70% alcohol. Don't use rubbing alcohol. You don't want anything with any kind of oils in it or medication or anything like that. You can use alcohol pads. They have small pads, or like 2 cents a pad you could pick up. I just happen to have the isopropyl alcohol for some of our archery projects and things like that. I also have a roller. And the roller is, this is actually a 3M roller. It's a very dense rubber. And I use this to roll the KeelEazy down. You can put finger pressure on it. When you're on the KeelEazy or any tape like this, you want to, I fasten it in the center and then I work my way out on either side to get any bubbles out. I also roll the tape to get any bubbles and really activate the adhesive on the back. Just a little particular, I wanted to give it the best shot I can to get it to stick down. I don't want to, I hate revisiting things. It takes the same amount of time to do a good job as it does to do a bad job. And I also have a heat gun. This is a Milwaukee heat gun. You want to use it on the low setting. And for this heat gun, since this product is kind of thick, it's going to lay flat, and that's not a problem. It's when you start making different curves and shapes with it, you want to use the heat gun to heat up this area slightly to give the PVC a different shape. Because the PVC is always going to want to return to its natural shape and it could pop up. So that's what I use the heat gun for. And if we need to do that, I actually haven't seen the bottom of this boat yet. So once we get it up on our sawhorses with a couple of pads on it, we'll take a look at the bottom of the boat and we'll get started. All right, let's see if I can get a partial hernia picking this thing up. Take it back towards you. There you go. All right. Well, here's the bottom of the boat. So we're going to start the KeelEazy tape probably 6 inches from the top of the bow. We're going to install the tape all the way down. I can see the boat flattens out a bit here. I think and there's a big scratch there already from shipping. We're going to just tape the whole bottom of this thing just to protect it. A lot of the places that we kayak are kind of rocky bottoms. And I think we'll just, we don't want to baby these things, so we're just going to put a strip of tape down the whole bottom. We're going to go right over this detail here. This is a tricky spot here. This is the keel protector for the 2020 Tarpons. So one of the things we want to do is you want to lay the tape on here on this transition point, but the 2-inch tape doesn't leave us very much sticking out. So we have to fold that tape over. So here's the KeelEazy tape. And once we get in this area, you can see with the 2-inch tape, which is perfect for the rest of the boat, here we're going to be folding it over like this. So if you remember from an earlier conversation, the tape has a memory and it wants to pop back up again. So I think this is the area that we're going to probably end up heating with the heat gun just to ensure it stays down. We may put a piece of tape on there also. Okay, Step one after setting up all our tools is cleaning the bottom of the boat. This is a brand new boat. This hasn't seen the water yet. We're going to use the 70% isopropyl, and again, you want to use isopropyl alcohol, not rubbing alcohol, not necessarily acetone, not any kind of weird cleaners. You want to use something 70% alcohol. That's it. I'm going to spray the bottom of the boat. I want to make sure I get the whole thing. And I'm just going to wipe it down. And the alcohol will evaporate on its own. So I'm not going to go crazy drying it off, but I want to make sure I get any dirt off of there. You know, you can see we're picking up some stuff off the bottom of the boat. But this is the key. I think more of the reviews I read on these Keel tapes and KeelEazy tape, if it doesn't stick down, people aren't happy with it. I'd say if you don't put the time into the prep, you can see that black stuff that I'm getting off the bottom of the boat. If you don't put the time into the prep, you're not going to get a good job. And I want a good job because I do not want to be doing this again. I want to be enjoying our kayaks over the summer. Plenty of alcohol. I know a lot of you folks just have the little pads that come in the bag, and that's fine. They're 2 cents a piece. I'd buy a box of 50 and I would just get this thing completely cleaned off. And that's it. Now I'm just going to let the alcohol dry. The other thing is, I've seen some folks work on this before, and they spend all this time cleaning and using the isopropyl to get all the oily fingerprints and facial oil and everything off of this thing. Then they start touching it. So once you use your isopropyl, you get the whole bottom of the boat cleaned. Don't start, you know, rubbing your face and then showing people how clean the bottom of the boat is. Keep your fingers off the bottom of the boat for the best adhesion. Okay, we're going to be laying out the KeelEazy tape, and as everything, I can't just lay it on there. I have to have like 20 or 30 extra steps. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay the tape on there where I want to start it, and we're going to tape it down just to hold it in place. And from working with these kind of products before, I don't like to handle the whole roll, so I'm just going to roll out the material on the boat just to get the length that we want. Okay, we'll get one more piece down here. First, I forgot the scissors. I think that'll do it. If we just grab the scissors, we'll just whack that son of a gun off of there. Thank you, sir. Hold it. Yeah, so we want to be, you know, we're not going to be crashing into the shore here. This is the wear area right here, but I'm just gonna whack some of this off right here just in case. So that's going to be our length, and then we will figure out where we want to round this area off here, and I'll show you how to do that later. Okay, we're going to get on to the next step. So now the tape's laid out in the sun for a little bit, we're going to, which allowed it to soften up and conform to some of these compound shapes. We're going to peel off the blue backing. This is the adhesive material. Don't touch the adhesive material to admire its stickiness, because you're going to get your skin oils on there. So we're going to get that little piece. That's about as far as we're going to go. And then we're going to get that set on there centered and square. And this product is flexible, and one of the things that happens if you try to take a little piece of tape off it at a time and fasten it down, one of the things that happens is when you do the next section, you're going to be going this way, the next section will be going that way. It's going to be like a zigzag on the bottom of the boat. And I say that from experience, so it wasn't a horrible zigzag. So we're going to starting by getting this one end fastened down. I'm going to jump on the other end, and then we're going to start peeling the tape up as we go, and I'll be aligning it from this end while Jared starts fastening it down. So I'm just going to kind of aim this thing right down to keep it centered. Go ahead, Sonny. Watching it, and I'm keeping it as centered as possible. And none of this stuff is hypercritical. It can be a little crooked on the bottom of the boat as long as you kind of have it in the middle. Okay, so that's perfectly straight on the bottom of the boat. We're going to work the center down, then we're going to start in the center, we're going to work the roller down, and we're going to push out any air bubbles in this product. And make sure we get the edges sealed down pretty good. So Jared's a roller wheelologist, I'll let him handle that. So while you can press down with your fingers and get the air bubbles out and get the glue done, the roller is actually, that's a 3M product. There are other products online. I'll put a link to it online. There's actually a cheaper version of that. And professional like flooring installers use those tools because while the adhesive will adhere to the surface, some of them require pressure, a certain number of pounds of pressure with a roller to really activate the glue properly. So, and I want to make sure all these edges, since they are not tapered on the edge, I want to make sure that we can keep those sealed from water. So we're just going to keep going here, and then we'll get to the back. We'll show you how we're going to stick that down. I can feel the heat in the tape, so this is great to do it outside in a little bit of sunlight because the tape is the same temperature as the boat and it's making it a little more flexible. I think we're going to go to the back now and try to get that sealed down. This is a little trickier, and this is where you want a little temperature in the tape. This is where you would use the heat gun. So that went down pretty easily there. But you can see there's not much material, and that plastic does not want to stay in that 90-degree shape. So that's why we want to warm up the tape, whether you do it with sunlight or you do it with your heat gun on a very light setting. Believe me, there's not a lot of plastic here, and if you have that gun on a high setting and you're enjoying a beer while you're heating up the plastic, you're going to blow a hole right through the boat. You're going to, of course, have to blame a friend or a family member or something like that, but you're going to have a hole in the boat. So you can see how that's all fastened down there, and we're going to keep an eye on that, make sure it stays down, but it's so far so good. I think we're going to move to the front now. Okay, now that we've finished most of the installation, now we're down to the bow. This is a little trickier because you have a couple of compound curves, so we're curving this way, we're curving off to the sides. This is a little tricky. We're going to have to do a little relief cut in this product. One of the things we do when we finish up is it's going to look like this. I prefer to have a little more of a finished edge on there. So what I do is I just find something, you know, round, and I just put it right on there, and I'll take a marker and I'll just make a mark. Take my scissors, and I just like to have a nice rounded edge on there. Now we have the nice rounded edge, and as we come down, it's going to be a nice finished look like that. And this is the most complicated part of the installation. That part was easy. This is the most complicated because of the compound curves. We have the compound curve going up to the bow and down to the sides. So as you see, the material is going to want to pucker up. So when you pucker that up, there's really no way to get that down. I think you can heat the plastic, but then it's going to look like just a big bump of melted plastic. Or what we're going to do is show you how to do a relief cut. You can do just a single cut. We fold down the rear piece, fold the front piece over it so it's a nice streamlined edge. We could also do like a V relief cut. That takes a little more work because if you get that wrong at all, then you have a gap in the material, which is not a problem at all because this is what you're worried about, but I won't be able to sleep at night. All right, now we're gonna finish up this process in the front. I have to stare at it for a while because this is the most nerve-wracking part. These are the puckers I was talking about. What I'm gonna do is just take a pair of scissors, and I'm going to make a cut on one side, and then I'm going to make a cut on the other side in the material, and then we're going to seal that down. And you can see how Jared put the rear part down first and the front part over it. It makes a nice smooth transition. Just roll it out a little bit. just to make sure that glue is good and activated on there. We get good adhesion. And we'll just get the rest of this tape off of there without touching the adhesive. All right. And we'll just get the roller on it to finish it up. And that would be that. So that's the installation. I don't know how long that took, maybe 30 minutes. I think it took me longer to set up the tools and the sawhorses and the equipment. But we have a few more boats to do. So we're gonna install this product. We have, as I mentioned, this is the 2020 Tarpon 120 in the Breeze Blue. It's a new color for 2020. We also have another Wilderness Systems Pungo that has this product on it. So we're gonna have 7 boats with this product installed, and we're gonna give it hell over the summer season. And I'll get back to you for sure and let you know how it holds up.